Grand Rising, peace to all my guys and goddesses. I am Centuria Queen, and I want to talk to you about breath work. I want to stress the importance of breath work and stress the importance of breath work in the sun. Try to start your day as early as possible. The early bird catches the worm. And if you can't do anything in your day because our lives are so stressful, we're under this narcissistic, predator, victimized paradigm, and it keeps us in such a low vibrational state. So if you can't do anything, try to start your morning off with breath work. You want to do a total of 108 conscious breaths. So you would want to do this sequence that I'm about to tell you 108 times. I'm expressing this to you because it's a lot that we're about to go through, a lot that we're going through, and a lot that we have been through. And on my journey, I've learned that the only thing that's really getting me to a state of peace is breath work. In the midst of all the storms that I go through, all of the pressures, and when I get weak and feel like even I'm a victim, even though I know I'm not, but sometimes I get weak and fall victim to the victim energies, I do that breath work, and it brings me back to my oneness of my I am presence. My I am presence is what you hear right now. It is the energy that allows my avatar to be mechanical. When you do your breath works, there's something called 7-4-7-9. I did used to do that breath count. That's when you breathe in for 4 seconds by the beat of your pulse. So you breathe in 4 of those seconds, like you feel your pulse beating, you breathe in 4, count to that. You hold a 7 count to that pulsating heartbeat rhythm, and you breathe out a 8 or 9 count to that, 8 count to that. But I do 3-6-9, but my 3-6-9 is long threes because I double pulse. But you can do it how you want. Anyway, so what you basically want to do is just breathe in as gently as you can. Hold it as gently and as long as you can. And breathe out as gently and long as you can without stress. Then eventually you'll start graduating to counting. And then eventually you'll start graduating to adding mantras in your mind, same mantras in your mind while you're counting, and do your breath work at the same time. And then you'll get to the level where you're doing your breath work, counting, saying your mantras at the same time, and have your hands in your mudra position. And then you'll get to the point where you're doing your breath work, saying your mantras at the same time, doing your mudras, and in your yoga pose. So for the corresponding chakra. Then you could break them down into chakras too. But I'm just expressing to you to do the breath work because the breath work is the key to all peace. The breath really calms the mind down. I've learned that the spirit is the collection of all the thoughts that we've been taught, heard, and been around since the existence of that spirit that's in that body. And I've learned that soul is the spark of the spirit, and it takes you back to the oneness, which is the collective totality of the creative consciousness that exists in your body in a customized form. So do your breath work. We're going to do it now. So what I do is I do my breath work, and as I'm breathing in and looking at the sun, I breathe in gently, and in my mind I say, I am restoring my body back to its God-perfected form with every breath that I take, consciously and unconsciously. And so it is. This is a spell that I cast on myself. I say that specific mantra because my health was feeling bad, and it is not anymore because I've been changing my life, but that mantra gives me the willpower to continue to keep going. And plus, our bodies are regenerative. It will heal itself. You got to reprogram the paradigm in the brain so that way the cells, or the 98% of DNA that's junk, can turn on and not be junk. The smartest people in the world, supposedly the smartest people in the world, can explain to you what 98% of your DNA do, your cellular genetic makeup do. You're only functioning off of 2% because they said that 98% of all the cells in your body is junk. This is what the smartest people of the world said, right? You functioning on 2% of your DNA cells, right? But they supposed to be able to know medicine. They supposed to be able to treat your body for sicknesses and illnesses, diagnose your mind for sicknesses and illnesses, but they only understand 2% out of the 100% of the DNA that we got in our body, and they do not understand 98% of the DNA we got in our body, but yet they tell us what to eat, control the fabrics we put on our body, the chemicals we put on our body, the toothpastes, the deodorants, the food, the electricity, the cell phones. They don't understand 98% of us, but got us fucking up our body. They said, I could treat you for anything you got going on. Go to the hospital for whatever your problem is. I could treat you, but you only understand 2% of my body. You only understand 2% of how I function, period. And then this is the kicker. They only understand 2% of the vessels that they experimented on, because every single vessel is different. That's how I know we was meant to self-heal and not go to the hospital. If you had to go to someone, that's because you were out of homeostasis within yourself, within your chakras, within your mental space. So therefore you needed someone who stays grounded and stays balanced, because there is a there is a hierarchy in the consciousness. It's a hierarchy, and if you don't like it, too bad. It's a hierarchy in the consciousness, because the highest consciousness is the truest form, and it'll never be mutable because it doesn't exist on anything. It doesn't exist on anything. It just is. It is all that ever was and all that will be. Is no beginning and it is no end. It's no beginning of the creation and there's no end of the creation, because it's all that ever will be. And that's that. You feel me? And this is the understanding we got, with a bitch only understanding 2% of the DNA. However, doing breath work turns on your other strands of DNA, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience incarnated into very dope vessels. Okay? These vessels got different creators, and so different souls incarnated and spirits incarnated into different vessels based on the creators. So these vessels got qualifications for the substance that make it mechanical to incarnate in it. Okay? So the substance that makes the vessel mechanical, you have had to graduate your energy on a bunch of different levels, okay? And that don't make you good or bad. It means that you have brought to balance the energies in this dualistic world, and you've able to incarnate again and get a higher life path and a higher life path, and bring that into humanity, the energy of that life path into humanity. So breath work is key. Breathwork will unlock another door to another door to another door that'll eventually get you to understand that you are not this vessel. This vessel is just a pair of shoes, okay? You are a soul having an experience in this vessel. You are a multi-dimensional being. That's why I can sit right here and speak to you, and then go in my kitchen and look in the refrigerator and remember everything that's in there. Look up and down. I'm in the bottom drawer. I opened it up. I see my tomatoes. I ain't got no cucumbers. So I'll come back here, sit in my seat, even though I never left, and make sure I make my way to the store. And I'm already on my way to the store. But I'm sitting right here talking to you too, because I'm multi-dimensional. You see how that multi-dimension works? Now all the shoes down here have that option. This is a shoe that, if you called this shoe a sneaker, it would be the Jordan, okay, of the Nikes, okay? So we would say that Melanation is Nike, and then this would be the Jordan, because I don't care who came out with a sneaker, ain't nobody's sneaker still better than Jordans. Don't care what you got to say, okay? So, and that's my perspective. There's no right or no wrong, because it's my perspective. And you're not right and you're not wrong, because you got your own perspective. So anyway, this would be the Nike, this would be the Jordan, and there ain't no better sneaker than the Jordan. So that's telling me that my soul is ready for whatever the next journey is, with me having a spiritual experience being in this avatar, because I'm in a Nike. You see what I'm saying? And my life path is the number that it is. So, breath work. Breathe in. Hold. Out. Breathe in. Hold. Out. And since it's power in the 3 to 6 to 9 and I'm giving you a tutorial, breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And if you can't do it 108 times, which is a really good benefit on your body, it does something physically to your body. Like if you have to take some medicine and wait for 20 minutes for it to work. That's what 108 breath count does. Okay? Not to mention, it turns on your cannabinoid receptors inside of your body, and that gives you the highest feeling, because I love to smoke. But it slows me down from smoking my marijuana because we are marijuana. It's in our body. Everything that's outside is inside. If you went to Nike. If you went to Nike, everything that's outside is inside. And remember, the Nike got the Jordans. They got whatever all the other shoes they got, because I only fuck with the Jordans, but I know they got the Airs, they got the Dunks, and a whole bunch of different genres of Nike. So that's, you know, your Puerto Rican and your Italian and your Chinese and all of that. Okay? There is a sneaker on this earth that's not a Nike. We all know that sneaker that's not a Nike. Okay? It's a Psyche. And I want to thank you, sneaker that's a Nike, because you really turned up the heat in this kitchen and put the pressure on this motherfucker to produce a bunch of rocks or a bunch of diamonds so we can get this ascension and evolution on. So thank you so much, Psyches. You will be rewarded based on your frequency and what you've done, as we all are. I want to thank all my souls that descended down since the cosmic convergence in 1987. Y'all some lighthouses, because y'all really brought a shift to this. You really brought a shift to this. I have 5 children, and they all was born after 87. And let me tell you something. They holding up the light and saved us from the darkness, boy, because we were some programmed mechanical robots. We were the zombies that was sleeping. The zombie apocalypse. It's like apocalypse means truth revealed. Zombie means dead state, sleep, unmutable, right? So don't you know that there is scientific fact that we produce zombie cells in our body? Because if we eat food and it produces itself to fat, but then we don't give it a chance to burn itself, then the glucose will never turn into ketones and it doesn't burn itself out. Okay, so instead it turns itself into a zombie cell, and that zombie cell erupts and put pollution in the body that destroys the other healthy cells in the body. Here's an example. A hamburger, 4-ounce hamburger, you can get your McFake bottles, because McDonald's meat ain't even real meat. So let's say you even get a real hamburger. It take 18 days to process just the hamburger without any bread, cheese, or anything else. So imagine if you ate another hamburger the next day. You didn't even process the first hamburger out your body. And like Dick Gregory said, we walk around with these fat booties, but it ain't nothing but doo-doo in there. God made the dump trucks to dump the trucks. Okay? God made the big fat booties to dump the duty. So you better go shit that shit out. Get that zombie up out your ass so you can think better. Because with all of that, you know how many feet of intestines you got? Damn, and you got poodoo all in there. Then sometimes it gets speckled all on the wall. And then we turn around and do shit like wear waist trainers and squeeze it and compact it in and make it harder like clay. Then it turns into a hard Lego rock. Then the next thing you know, you look pregnant for the rest of your life. Trust me, I know. I was one of them. So fasting is key. Fasting, fasting, fasting. But if you can't do nothing else, try in your day to get 108 counts worth of breath it will change your life. Okay, I have a couple recommendations too. You can work on each one of your chakras, and in each one of your chakras you can do a 15 count of the pulse breath. And if you do a 15 count in each chakra area of the pulse breath, it helps you to not lose your count. And then on your last chakra, which would be your crown chakra, you only have to do a 16 pulse breath interval, and then you'll have your 108 breaths. And you would have worked on your chakras at the same time and did your mudras and your mantras for today too. So I'm going to make a video next with me actually doing it. I just wanted to, come out here and tell y'all this, because I've learned that when I don't do what I'm told, spirit gets me. So Susta Sista Greenie signing off. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming to the Forever a Student University episode, where we are master students, like my boy B. Dale said. But I'm only saying he said it because he just said it on the thing and everybody heard it. But I've been saying it. And I don't need to take credit for no words, because it's a frequency that I'm on, and I'm grateful to be on the same frequency with them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because they are the ones that came in this earth with no karma. I came in here with hella karma and paid it in full, baby. Cleaned my bloodline. So, but y'all came in here with y'all DNA already activated. It gives me great joy and hope to see my downloads in the same frequency as y'all's. So it gives me great joy to know that I'm also in my third eye chakra as well. It gives me great joy to know that. Y'all know we getting ready to get our crown, right? Y'all know that we done been through this since the pandemic started. When the pandemic started, it hit our root chakra, this awakening, and it purged us of all our pain and pressures of life on this lifetime and the last lifetime, and our cellular molecular structures and all of the stains on our soul, pains on our soul, triumphs and tribulations, the epigenetics, all the hurt and pain. But do y'all know that we are the souls that cling the wheel of karma, broke that shit for all existence, for the totality of existence? That means your children and your children's children, your children's children, your children's children ain't gonna see that wheel of karma no more. It doesn't exist anymore. We have completely brought duality into a balanced form, where the next level of duality will not be so low vibrational. Ha! Because as above, so below. When we was going through hell down here, so was everywhere else. It's as above, so below. So within, so without. When we was going through hell within ourselves, the planet was going through hell within itself, and the cosmos was going through hell within itself too. Okay? And hell was what? The state of mind. We was in this ignorant ass paradigm, completely disconnected from our divinity. And your divinity is nothing but love. Love is unconditional. It allows you to accept things the way they are. And once you love yourself, you can accept everything the way it is. But not a dairy mother on this planet accepted or loved themselves the way we were, because we are just autopilots of what our parents told us, and their parents told them, and their parents told them, that kept us in a pressurous world from the moment we was born. Here's an example. The baby, now I'm giving an example, okay? And you got to have discernment with these things. If a baby's crawling on the floor and it wants to take itself towards the socket, the parent's going to stop it from going to the socket. But if the baby's crawling on the floor and the parent just don't want it on the floor, because the parent don't want the baby to get dirty or get germs, because the parent don't want to clean the floor, then you already making that baby be in a state of dysfunction, because all the baby knows it wants to do is be a baby, and you're trying to correct it so it could be a big person, and it's only a baby. You hear me? You want the baby to move like a big person. You don't want the baby to go over here. You don't want the baby to do that. But the baby wants the baby. All you're supposed to do is just watch the baby and be in flow. If the baby want to go up the steps, stand behind it. If it gets ready to fall backwards, you're there to catch it. If the baby want to go in the dirt, be right there. Once it finishes touching the dirt, wash his hands. That's what we should have been doing. But instead, we did so many preventative measures because we were governed under the victimization paradigm, the predator paradigm, the jealousy paradigm, all of those low vibrational 7 deadly things. But when I say we're out of hell, that means that we will not be in that paradigm, that way of thought process in this dualistic world. Our God essence energy, which is actually our thoughts, when we go upstairs in here, get quiet and start thinking and then feeling it, that's your God energy. It's been programmed. That's why they bombard us with fuck shit coming from the TV, the radio, and the phone, and the lights, and the streets, and the restaurants, and the school, and the job, because they want to control the way we think. And so now the whole world was thinking, I got to wake up in the morning and go get this money so I can take care of ourselves, and it's never enough. That's the hell we're in. Because what are we created for? Have all these senses, but we only use them in this low vibrational, mundane way. We use them for the same bullshit every day, but we got all these senses. That goes to show you that we got a bunch of goddamn dummies running the world. Because remember, we take it back to supposedly the smartest people in the world, the scientists. They only understand 98% of the DNA. They only understand 2% of the DEA, called 98% of what makes you junk. Govern it under the couple of people they experimented on in the year time frame that they did it. They make it withstand right now, like your cellular molecular structure is the same way it was in 1952, knowing we eat cancer food now, we eat plastic now, and pesticides now. See what I'm saying? Come out. Come out. Sister Queenie says, come out. Wake up. You must come to yourself. You must know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you're doomed to fail. All right? See, that was one of the ancestors from one of the lives I lived, because that was me and I was them. Peace, guy. I is we. Peace.